Alright, so we're back again with more ear work. I've done a little bit of removal down here, just kind of practicing to see what I could do and how it looks. And I've decided to take this area here, really just about the width of my finger, all the way down, and then taper it up and round this over, almost like a normal human ear. Probably the same with the bottom. I haven't really thought too much about that. I'm pretty much working the top right now. And I will continue to remove material here. I really like the indent that it's given me here. It's got a nice natural skull shaped feel to it. And also continue to lower this, not a lot, because I kind of want to maybe create a bulge here, which is not natural, but it does seem like a good place to create some textures in the head to kind of make it less, bowling ball and more alien skull. I'm using this is a new tool by File. I've done I've done a video on this before. I always try to work it in, it's a new tool. I'm not really a knife person. I use gouges more, so this is kind of a hybrid between the two. If you haven't seen the other video, it's sharp on both sides. This is sharp and this is sharp. And I don't use this back too much. I suppose I could. Yeah, it's not, nearly as effective as, a straight gouge. The action is kind of odd. But it is good in a tight spot. And this curvature I'm finding is giving me a good point to do my stop cuts in here. So that's kind of what I'm working towards now, is removing material down here to get the ear to stand out, so that then I'll have plenty of leeway to work it the way I want. And I'm thinking now that I'll probably leave a good size rim here, curve that, slightly. I still want to maintain the pointiness, but at the same time give me the concave ear cavity that I need. And I'll pretty much stick to the fairly normal plan for a human ear. I've had some success with ears, mostly thanks to the Ivan Willick book on carving the human head. And I'll try to get that and show you exactly the part I'm talking about. He's got a good simple diagram for drawing those contours inside the ear, and it looks good. Which, that I would have thought that was something I would struggle with, but because of his drawings, it's really helped. So let me start removing some material here. Not too concerned about this area here. It definitely doesn't want to cooperate with this stroke. See how choppy that is? But it's good up here where it counts. I feel pretty confident about being able to remove just about the right amount of material that I want. And it's coming away smooth, which I know that you guys that carve the smaller figures struggle with getting clean cuts in these tight areas. I was at our carving club and somebody was passing around some Santas that somebody had carved, and it was they were just phenomenal. They were tiny, they were fairly simple, but every cut was made with a stab cut And he wasn't too worried, whoever it was. I'm not sure who it was. It wasn't the guy that was showing him around. He had gotten them from somebody just for demonstration purposes, for us to look at. And he wasn't concerned at all about depth of cut. You know, the stab cuts that he made for like the beard and the features in the face were fairly deep. And it didn't detract from the piece at all. It actually made it look more interesting to me, a carver. This is coming away real nice. I probably will remove, I guess I've gotten to the bottom of my stop cut here. I probably will end up removing some of this bulge just to enable me to get in there. But like I say, I'm kind of counting on preserving that to give me some interest in the skull. It's kind of nice how you can be working a piece, you know, just try a little experiment and it reveals for you exactly what you wanted to do in the first place. Since this front area is going to be so difficult, I'm obviously going cross grain in a grainy area there. I think that I'll go ahead and grab a gouge and start to do that lowering that I was talking about. I like to keep the tool, it's very tempting to go in there at a strong angle, but I really try to make an effort to keep the tool straight up. It makes it feel a little awkward. You know, it'd be very comfortable to go in there like this, but I found that, you know, a continuous series of stop cuts will end up undermining that to the point where it's weak and not at all what I want. So let me grab a gouge. I think I'll grab the fishtail. I wonder if that's upside down or right side up. That's right side up. I'm struggling with that. I texted in the last video that I put a mirror on the screen, which makes it great for me to see the screen. I put a mirror on the camera, so it makes it great for me to see the screen, but gets me confused as to what's right side up and what's upside down. So anyways, this is the, you know, I call it my big fishtail. It's only about as big as my finger, but it's much larger than the 3F8, which is pretty dainty, pretty delicate, but good workhorse. I really, probably this, and my recently beloved 520, I guess they're all fishtails really, are my top three lately. And the Abiglin, I think this is called, new file tool, top three, top four. So I'm going to start taking this down right to level. And let me show you again that picture that I'm working from. And maybe I'll even look up the larger version so you can see that better. But this is the idea. It's funny how I can be looking right at something and not notice it. That, you know, I was talking about that this was flush with the side of the head, but right away it starts getting high. You know, there's an immediate ridge there. He doesn't taper very much at all. There is some taper, but clearly I want to have some material to be able to do that, and also that rounding. So let me see if I can find the bigger picture of this. Yeah, there we are. So that's the larger finished ear. Actually looks different than that. He spent more time on it. Same sculpture, but he has worked that some more. So that's a nice visual aid for me. He's got several others in here. That's a great ear there, isn't it? See if I can get that so you can see it. It's kind of small, but that's a nice ear. Nice and loby. Alright, so I'll continue to start to take this down, get it flush. Makes me a little nervous because I can't carve this back on. Alright, so that's where I want to be with that. And also that, okay, that's a push, pretty choppy. That's a slice, much smoother, much cleaner. And it looks like actually at this point I'm not going to have to take this down to make this stand out much more. I'm fine with it curving back a little bit like this. I'm thinking that the hollowing that I'm doing here, the concave that I'm doing here, will be adequate to give me a good standout from the head to that pointy wing there, Spock ears. I don't want to take this down too far because in the past what I've learned is I want to make sure that I preserve enough material for that, for the lobe that's right there. And we'd like to get it back here to see how it looks. And this gouge is getting a little fat for that, so I'm going to go with the 810. This was the first tool I ever bought. I think I bought, I decided I wanted to get into wood carving. I'd tried box making, and the precision that you need for that just didn't appeal to me. It just seemed like it wasn't enjoyable. It was constant problem solving. And so I started thinking about wood carving, and that was when I was first on the internet. I didn't even have a computer. I was on web TV. I don't know if anybody's ever done web TV, but did some primitive searching and found a guy in Canada. The exclusive rights for Field Tools is Woodcraft. They're the exclusive distributor in the United States, so I didn't know about Woodcraft at that point, so I had ordered it from a guy in Canada. So I ordered this, the 810. I think I ordered a skew. I ordered this little chisel, a 1/8. Is that it? Yeah. Oh no, the V-tool. I think I ordered my V-tool at that time also, 12/6. And all of these are still in frequent rotation. So I've established a pretty good inside bevel. I think that's as low as I want to go on that. It's pretty much flush with the head. I'll need to do some tapering here to get it to look right. But I'm starting to get the this area here. So this and this will be this and this. Will be this and this. So those two little points there, I'm starting right here. Now that I've established that, I'm going to continue to work this back. That's about as far forward as it'll let me go. Go ahead and work my stop cut a little more. Boy, as soon as I get to that round part, it really gets flaky. And I do mean flaky. It starts to create a flake in there. I may work that with the Weecher power tool. Whenever I get a persistent flake like that, I'm finding that the rotary tool does a good job of getting it down to where I want to be and feathering it into the area that it needs to be. Let me go ahead and do a little bit of that, and then we'll call it a day for this video. Loving that ruby bit. I'm not sure if it's the shape or the fact that it's a ruby, but this is one happy little bit. There's some redness here. Now the camera doesn't do a very good job of getting color, but I can tell that this is a ruby bit even from, it's got some slight redness there. Let's see compared to a diamond if you can tell what that is. Can you see some slight pinkness there? Anyways, I don't know if it's the ruby part of it or if it's the shape of this particular bit, but I like it. So I solved the flake problem. See how nice that is for getting in there? I'd like to get another one shaped like this. I don't know if Kutzall has a larger bit. This is the 3/32 shaft. I kind of prefer the 1/8. Seems like they're more substantial, and I wouldn't even mind a 1/4 this size. Okay, so we're definitely flush, gotten away from some of that jinkiness there. Oh, I might as well work some of this back. Wonder what it'll do to this jinkiness down here. Yeah, that's one of the things that rotary bits are so good for, is eliminating that choppiness that the gouges leave in these tight spaces. But that's really a finishing thing. I made a holder for my Weecher because I wasn't feeling good about leaving it laying on the bench. Probably won't be able to see this whole thing, and this is an older Sony camera that I've got. It won't zoom out. But I've also put some lead in there to give it some weight so that I can pick up the tool without picking up the holder. So, making progress. I will probably continue to relieve this slightly. I'm having good luck with that. I wonder how it's going to behave here. Let me get my little fishtail for that. This is my most accurate tool. When I'm doing something that's real delicate and real demanding. And you see I've got this reverse, so it'll give me a natural rounding. It's fighting the gouge a little bit, but it's coming away clean, so I'm happy with that. From the flakes that I was getting down here, and just by looking at it, clearly the grain is running this way, so I'm going cross grain. This Norfolk Island pine is such strange wood, soft in places, hard in others, comes away clean with the gouge in some places, and others it just wants to fight me. So this might be with the grain here because I'm getting that feel. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I'm getting that feel of, you know, a very serene removal. So up might be the best way to go. Although in the other video we saw that slicing down when I was cutting across gave me I'm rotating the gouge like that as I'm going through the cut. Try it the other way. Now I'm rotating the gouge like that as I'm going through the cut. Doesn't really like either of them. But I'm getting some nice smoothing here. And what I'll do is what you see here, which is I'll start off just taking the, shaving very lightly, and then start to build up some confidence that it's going to hold there and go deeper and deeper. So starting to establish those points that I was talking about. Let's see how it does in this direction. Nice. I think one of the reasons that I like this tool and also the other fishtail that I showed you, the 7F, and this is the 3F, is that, excuse me, these are very thin at the tip. There is not very much metal there at all. So it slides through the wood very nicely. This one cuts good too, but it is obviously a thicker tool. There's a lot more meat to it. That's the 520. So, for the moment, I'm actually going the opposite direction here, and it still likes